everyone, today we present Hard Times report that discussing the most important changes that accompanied the Industrial Revolution and its impact on various aspects of British society. A story within the story. In Hard Times, the reader can clearly notice the presence of two plots. These two plots are going hand in hand. They are complementary rather than contradictory. In other words, they complete each other, and their presence together is very vital. Dickens links these two plots with a lot of bridges. We have certain characters who are present in both of these two plots, and these particular characters who are functioning as bridges are links through which the two plots are hooked up. From the early beginning of the fiction till this point, the reader was enabled to see and to examine the mind and the way of thinking of lots of people, such as Mr. Gradgrind with his educational philosophy, Tom and his sister and their plight, their unhappy life, Mr. Bounderby and his money power, Cissy with her tragic situation, the circus people with their solidarity, in addition to other certain characters. All these characters, besides some others, are active participants in the main plot. Now, there is a sudden shift in the story. The author spots the light on other people to give us a broad picture regarding the British community and its internal system. It is through these pictures that Dickens is putting before the reader we can feel that we are walking in a large gallery that shows every minute accurate and detailed things about the life in Britain in the Victorian age. We can see the rich and the poor, we can the master and the servant, the factory owner and his worker. Even the type of wage that the worker are earning is written in this fiction. Thus, Dickens has inserted everything, and in this fiction he forgot nothing at all.
Like the main plot, the subplot focuses on the life of certain people. Among those people is Stephen Blackpool. This poor character is one of workers who is working in one of Mr. Bounderby's factories. This character is very much helpless. He is so weak in the sense that he can achieve nothing. He even has no power to divorce his wife, and we will see why. After a very long day of work, which starts from early in the morning till the evening, the workers are set free. They stop their machines and go home. One of those workers is Stephen, who finishes this work and prepares himself to go home. Stephen is in a habit of waiting for a brief period of time. He waits for a woman who works with him in the same factory. He has warm feelings towards her. This woman goes by the name Rachel. Those two people walk for some distance together heading home. After that, each one goes to his own house. As what is said earlier, that Charles Dickens' Hard Times passes two plots. One can be labeled as the main plot. This plot focuses and traces the life and the educational theory that Mr. Gradgrind has adapted. It also gives the reader a close picture of Mr. Gradgrind's family and sheds a specific life on his two kids, along with some family connections that Mr. Gradgrind constantly wants to satisfy.
In this plot, the main plot, the reader also got the opportunity to see and to sense Sissy's plight and her suffering, and also the circus people with their solidarity, while Subplot traces the daily routine and the never-ending tragedy of other characters, specifically Stephen Blackpool. This particular character is one of the workers in Mr. Bounderby's factories. He is a man with a skill. He is very quiet and lonely. He has warm feelings toward a woman who is 5 years younger than him. She is 35. This woman goes by the name Rachel. Rachel shares a lot of things with Stephen. She is also quiet and polite. She is also lonely, and by herself in the sense that they are not involved in the fire speeches of the worker, syndicate or strikes or anything like this. Those people used to wait for each other at the end of the day, and they like to walk for some distance together. Then they depart, each one is heading to his own residence. One day, Stephen reached his home. He is shocked to see that a heavily drunk woman sleeping in his own bed. Later he found out that this drunk woman is his wife.
In fact, most of Stephen's blood is coming from her, and they are separated from each other since long time ago due to certain moral and manner defects in her. But whenever she is drunk, she comes to him, and he cannot stop her because according to the English jurisdictional system, the English law, everything that belongs to Stephen is her. That is why she has the authority to come whenever she wants. And Stephen quite knows that he cannot divorce her because according to their creed, the Christian people, they cannot divorce because there is a sort of vow between the wife and their husband. It is called marriage vow.
The newly married couple have made a vow that why they will live in better and worse. There is also a belief that when Christian people get married, the wife and husband will become two souls in one body. That is why it is impossible for certain sects of the Christian people to get divorced, and this fact in its turn justify why Stephen cannot marry Rachel, the woman whom he loves. One day, Stephen in his lunch break went to his boss, Mr. Bounderby, seeking for help and advice. Mr. Bounderby told him that no one can help him in this issue and that it is a very serious trouble. Stephen told him that but he has heard that there are a lot of people who succeed in divorcing their wives. Mr. Bounderby said that there is such a law that unable to do so, but this law isn't for you, not to Stephen, because it is costly. Thanks for your listening.
I would like to thank Dr. Qasim for giving us this opportunity and to my colleagues who offered to work with me. And they are Ibtisam Abdelkarim, Ayat Ali, Ruqayya Fadel, Zahra Jamil and me, Nida Jassim Fadel from Section A. Thank you for your listening.